Most people spend well over $1,000 flying from Canada to India, but if you know how to play the points game right, you can do it for under $150. And no, this isn't about flight hacks or last-minute deals. This is a proven system that lets even new immigrants to Canada turn basic Canadian credit cards into round-trip flights all over the world. So today, I'm breaking down exactly how this works, including the cards to get, the points to earn, and how to get a $1,200 flight to India for up to 90% off. Let's dive in. So let's start with the hard numbers. A round trip from Toronto to Delhi on full-service airlines like Air Canada or Etihad usually costs between $1,300 and $1,600, even when you book it months in advance. And from Vancouver to Mumbai, it's the same story, $1,300 to $1,800, depending on the carrier and your connections. But here's where things get interesting, because cash isn't the only way you can buy these flights. If you have frequent flyer points, you can also use those to buy the exact same flights for a much lower cost. So I want to show you how you can make things work with Aeroplan specifically. You might already know that Aeroplan is the most popular frequent flyer program in Canada, and it lets you earn points through eligible credit cards. So if you have Aeroplan points, you can buy the same flights for a massive discount. For example, according to Aeroplan's official rewards chart, any route between 6,000 and 8,000 miles, which includes flights from both Vancouver and Toronto to India, can be booked for as little as 55,000 Aeroplan points one way in economy class. That means you can fly from Canada to India round trip for 110,000 Aeroplan points plus taxes and fees. And those taxes and fees usually range from around $150 to $250 for the entire trip. So instead of paying $1,500 or more in cash, you're paying around 10% of that, with the rest covered entirely by points. And this isn't even a workaround or a hidden trick. It's just Aeroplan's regular published redemption rate, and it's a great way to fly from Canada to India. And so when you add all this up, the difference is clear. Use cash and you're out well over $1,000. Use points, and that same seat costs just a fraction of the price. So let's get into building the system that gets you there, even if you're starting with no Canadian credit history and a low income. As I just showed you, to book a round-trip flight from Canada to India using points, you'll need to collect around 110,000 Aeroplan points. Now, of course, you could also approach this using other frequent flyer programs like British Airways Avios, but I'm going to simplify things for you here and just let you know that it's going to be much easier with Aeroplan. And so that means that you need a solid way of earning Aeroplan points, and the best way to earn them quickly is through credit cards. Now, this isn't about premium cards or incurring massive annual fees. It's about using the right cards that offer strong welcome bonuses and solid earn rates, all while helping you build your credit from the ground up. I'm talking about cards that newcomers to Canada can realistically qualify and use to create a system that turns your everyday spending into the points you need to take that flight to India. So if you're looking for the best possible cards to start with, then the American Express Cobalt card is hard to beat. It's incredibly flexible and offers the highest earn rates in Canada, including 5 points per dollar on food and drinks, including groceries, restaurants, and food delivery. So that's massive for anyone who's just getting started. And the best part here is that the American Express membership rewards points that you earn with the Cobalt card transfer to Aeroplan one-to-one, which makes it one of the fastest and most flexible ways to earn Aeroplan points without an Aeroplan branded credit card. So let's break down the math a bit. Say you spend $800 a month on groceries and dining combined. I'd say that's pretty reasonable for someone getting established in Canada. And since you're earning 5 points per dollar on the Cobalt card, you'll earn 4,000 membership rewards points from that $800 in spending. And so over the course of a year, that's 48,000 points just from your food spending. And then you add in the other categories: 3 points per dollar on streaming services, 2 points per dollar on gas, transit, and ride sharing, and 1 point per dollar on everything else. And so if you're strategic about your spending, you can easily generate 60,000 membership rewards points or more every year with the Cobalt card. Now, the Cobalt card does come with an annual cost of $155.88, which is $12.99 a month, or in Quebec, it's $150 a year. But like I just showed you, the points you'll earn far outweigh this price. But with that said, if you're not quite ready for a monthly fee, then the American Express Green Card could also be a good alternative. It has no annual fee and gives you 10,000 membership rewards points after spending $1,000 in the first 3 months. It also earns 1 point per dollar on all your purchases, plus an extra point per dollar on Amex travel, hotel, and rental car bookings. Now, I know some people are going to push back on this and say that Amex cards are difficult to get approved for as a newcomer to Canada, but in my experience, that's no longer true. I've got 2 friends who both have moved to Canada in the past 2 years, and both of them have been approved for American Express cards. And in both cases, they did exactly what I'm suggesting here. They applied and were approved for an Amex Cobalt card. Now, before I show you how to use the points you're going to earn from your new credit cards to get a flight to India, I want to show you a couple other non-American Express cards so you've got a few different options. Take the CIBC Aeroplan Visa, which is one of the most accessible travel cards in Canada. It's got no annual fee and only requires a $15,000 annual household income in order to be approved for the card. card. So this makes it a solid first step for newcomers looking to build credit and earn rewards at the same time. Now, the welcome offer gives you up to 10,000 Aeroplan points, which is structured in 3 tiers. 2,500 points after your first purchase, another 2,500 points after spending $3,000 in the first 4 months, and a final 5,000 points if you spend $10,000 in your first year. Now, for some people that might seem like a stretch, but remember, you're not spending extra money. You're just routing your regular expenses like groceries, gas, and bills through the card to unlock those bonuses. And the earn rates on this card are really simple. You earn 1 point per dollar on Air Canada purchases, gas, groceries, and EV charging, and then everything else earns 1 point for every $1.50 spent. So it's certainly not the highest return out there, but it is still a reliable way to build your Aeroplan balance over time. And there is a bit of a cool benefit here, which is that as long as you hold this card, your Aeroplan points will never expire. So that gives you the freedom to earn slowly and strategically without the pressure to redeem your points before you're ready, which keeps those hard-earned points intact. And so overall, the CIBC Aeroplan Visa card is a solid option if you want a no-fee card that keeps your points safe while you build them slowly. But if you're aiming to earn faster and unlock bigger bonuses, then the TD Aeroplan Visa Platinum gives you more to work with. The TD Aeroplan Visa Platinum has no minimum income requirement, so approval is still accessible for most people, and it unlocks a much higher points bonus. The annual fee is $89, but that's waived in the first year. And so that gives you 12 months to decide if the card is worth keeping over the long term. The welcome bonus offers up to 20,000 Aeroplan points, so that's 10,000 after your first purchase, and another 10,000 when you spend just $1,000 in the first 90 days. And so that's a quick and easy way to boost your Aeroplan balance without paying any sort of annual fee. And then the ongoing earnings on the card mirror the CIBC card. 1 Aeroplan point per dollar on groceries, gas, and Air Canada purchases, and then everything else earns 1 point for every $1.50 spent. So let's do a bit of math. Say you spend $500 a month on groceries and gas combined. With both of these cards, you're earning 1,000 Aeroplan points a month just from those categories, and then over the course of a year, that's 12,000 additional points from your everyday spending. Now, for the fastest way to earn points, consider pairing the Amex Cobalt card with one of the TD or CIBC cards. That way you earn a solid welcome bonus, but also get to capitalize on the ongoing earn rates of the Amex Cobalt. But now that you've got a serious stash of points from credit cards, the next step is learning how to turn them into actual flights, because earning points is only half the journey, and the real value comes when you redeem them in the right way. So let's start with Aeroplan. If you've got Aeroplan points, the simplest way to search is through Air Canada's website. Log into your Aeroplan account, choose your city pair, for example, Toronto to Delhi, and switch the pricing option to use points. For example, this direct flight with Air India costs 55,000 points and $121 in taxes, which is really good for a 13-hour nonstop flight. But even if you're still inside Aeroplan, getting the same flight with Air Canada means in this case, the price goes up to 74,300 points, even though it's still a nonstop flight. And the price can go even higher than that because Air Canada flights within Aeroplan are priced dynamically, which means that they rise and fall with supply and demand. Now, on the other hand, if you don't mind having a connection, then there's also an option with United Airlines and Lufthansa via Newark that comes in at just 54,000 points plus $153 in taxes. So that's about the same number of points as the Air India flight, but it does require quite a bit more travel time. That's why flexibility is everything when you're booking award flights. Availability changes day to day, even hour by hour, so it helps to search across a wide range of dates. And if you find something but you aren't 100% ready to book, then Aeroplan lets you place the itinerary on hold for 24 hours with no payment required, and that gives you a bit of breathing room to lock things in. But at this point, you've seen exactly how a newcomer to Canada can use just 4 accessible credit cards to fly round trip from Canada to India using points without premium cards or high annual fees. But there's actually something else that makes this strategy even more powerful, because once you understand how to stack credit card bonuses, leverage category spend, and time your redemptions across multiple programs, that $1,500 flight to India becomes just the beginning. And the Canadians getting the most out of their points are using a system that goes way beyond Aeroplan. It's a strategy that works for any destination, not just India. So if you want to learn how to build a credit card setup that earns you free travel all year long, and see how to choose the credit cards that fit your individual lifestyle, watch this video next.